Okay guys, I'm gonna make a brunch dish. This is gonna be a play on the fried green tomatoes that I already showed you how to make, so you can look at another video. And we're gonna take those fried green tomatoes, some bacon, poached eggs, and we're gonna make hollandaise. It's gonna be like an eggs benedict, but with no toast, and it's gonna have a salad to make it kind of healthy. Anyhow, so let's start off with a little hollandaise, and it's way easier to make than you think. So I'm going to crack an egg and get a yolk. This will help emulsify our butter. So I've got a yolk, and I'm putting it in this makeshift double boiler that I made. I'm going to turn it down. We're also going to poach our eggs in the same water. You can use a whisk and whisk in the butter. I have 2 sticks of butter here that I melted, and it's cool. You can use clarified butter, but why waste everything? It'll all work. So I have this handy dandy blender over here, and I'm gonna try this out. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see. So it's kind of like whisking, but not. Jesus. You know what? Screw this. I'll use the whisk. All right. So this is essentially warm mayonnaise, really. Putting a little bit of butter in at a time so that you don't break your sauce. In culinary school, we would always use a towel to keep things in place, like when we were making mayonnaise. You can use this for steak, asparagus, stuff like that, like hollandaise. And 1 egg will emulsify like a whole gallon of butter, really. I'm going to take this off so it doesn't get too hot. And I'm going to keep whisking really fast. If I had someone to help me shoot these videos, I could kind of show you like better what it's looking like, but it looks essentially like warm mayonnaise is what it is. And you can make mayonnaise same way, but with oil. But we can do that in another video. Alright, so I've got enough for what I'm doing, and I would put a little bit of lemon juice in here, but I don't have any. So I'm going to hit it with a tiny bit of Worcestershire and a good bit of cayenne pepper to give it a little spice. Get a little more in here. And if it ends up being too thick for you, you can always hit it with a tiny bit of water. Now I'm going to turn that same water on that we were using to keep the bowl hot, and I'm going to use that for my poached eggs. So we're going to poach eggs for this dish. I'm going to let this water start boiling, and then we're gonna finish the dish. It's going to be awesome. Okay, now that the hollandaise is done and the water is simmering, it's not quite like boiling. You don't want it to like boil like crazy. You just want it to kind of bubble up. So once you get it to that spot, you're going to turn it down a little bit to maintain that. I put my hollandaise over here, and I added a little bit of salt to it to taste. And you can see it's nice and yummy. You can make as much or as little as you need to for however many people you have. I have quite a few people coming, or that might be here, and they're quiet. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, before, you want to add a little acid to your water. Some vinegar. White vinegar is great. I don't have any. I have this white wine vinegar from like 20 years ago. Just going to put a little bit in there to change the pH of the water. And that's going to help these eggs, kind of coagulate, stay together, keep the whites nice. Drop an egg in there. And be honest with you, I'm just making 1 dish right now for you guys. So that's 2 eggs. But I always drop an extra egg because anything could happen. And you don't want anybody to have to wait. So, we're going to poach these for just, I would say like a minute. Now, there's soft poach, medium poach, hard poach. So you're going to poach it to however you like it. There's actually egg poachers that you can buy, but a slotted spoon will work just fine. So I have some greens, and like I said, if I had a lemon, I'd put a little lemon juice in that, and I'd squeeze some on the greens. But I don't have one. So these fried green tomatoes that we made earlier, and they're actually nice and warm still. I'm going to put one here, kind of like where we would put the English muffin if we were making an actual traditional eggs benedict. I have a bunch of, oh, my water's going a little crazy, so I need to turn that down. It doesn't need to be boiling like that. So I'm going to put a piece of bacon over here, a piece of bacon over here, and that kind of replaces the Canadian bacon in the traditional eggs benedict. And I mean, you can do this with crab meat, asparagus. There's a million ways you can play off this. I'm going to check my eggs. They're still really soft, which is fine for me. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I want them to be a little firmer so that we can they can stay on here and they'll look perfect. So I'm going to go for a soft to medium poach here. And they look wonderful, actually. Put my cayenne pepper over here. These spices I use a lot. This is the Cajun Voodoo, which can pretty much go on anything. It's not overly spicy, but it is overly flavorful. And I'm going to put a little bit on top of my hollandaise sauce. This is the Mom Cave Foods that I use a lot. I know I said that like 3 times, but trying to pass the time. So, I think our eggs are done. Perfect. All right, get some of this icky stuff off here. And if you have a towel, which I don't, my imaginary towel, you don't want a lot of water on there. I'll go ahead and pop my egg right there. Get another one. And just in case anybody's wondering, all 3 of my eggs came out perfect. So we'll blot it on the imaginary towel so we don't have a bunch of water on our dish. And we're going to plop it right there. Okay. Now, for the not so imaginary hollandaise sauce. And like I said, I put a little bit of this water in here to thin it out a little bit because it can get kind of thick and you want it kind of saucy. So I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit closer. Again, sorry, I'm not even sure how to film anything yet. I'm working on it. They're going to get better and better, I promise. Please keep watching. All right. Put a little bit of this amazing hollandaise over it. Oh my God, making me sweat. This was a rough breakfast. Okay. And a little bit of Cajun Voodoo. Sprinkle it over the top. And it's done. I'm going to get you a close-up on here. Okay. I don't know what to say other than enjoy your brunch.